Yeah, Morgan does love the stretch in the news. Alright, we're back on Chemically Bonded. This is going to be part 3, I hope. I believe we made the decision to talk to Naomi instead of going to our science club. Yeah, I think that's about it. Let's keep going. Is this the right one? Let's check. You mess with Bonnie? Sure. Welcome by the crowded atmosphere of bustling students heading home. I track my own way towards the stairwells and members of the mass. Nostalgia washing over me as I take each step, progressing further down the corridor. It wasn't long ago that such an action was routine. After spending time with Kyoko, it's become an out-of-place feeling, particularly after making the choice to leave her. Harking back to moments ago, her weakened face will no doubt stick in my mind as I go finding Naomi. Recalling her words from yesterday, the best place to look would be in the schoolyard. At a time like this, however, I wouldn't say she'd be keen on being seen by me, or seen with me. Looking out through the narrow windows lining the corridor, the blue afternoon sky glares back the usual patterns of a world which keeps on spinning. Moving at 460 meters per second at just a moment's notice.
Stop daydreaming and keep walking. You can stare at the sky when we get outside.
Damn, alright. Pull to the side, a familiar voice whispers in my ear before pushing me back on my own path. That felt nice. Her breath was warm.
Keep your perverted thoughts to yourself, idiot!
Walking ahead, her hair flows down her back. Embracing her athletic figure, all I can do is follow her and look forward to being treated like dirt. Being the one who made this choice, the blame rests with myself. I hope it's worth hearing what she has to say. Tracing her path outside, my face is greeted by a breeze of fresh spring air as the blue sky above greets my vision. I can finally enjoy this sight like the sky fetishist I am.
What are you doing?
Inner monologue.
Just keep walking, weirdo.
Naomi returns to her position ahead as I clear my mind. Now focus on what's in front of me. To be this adamant about taking me with her, to talk to me about Kyoko. Naomi's own feelings must now be breaching out. She must have her reasons. Who am I not to give her a chance? From leading me around on various paths of the school's grounds, weaving indoors and out without necessarily knowing why, Naomi turns herself around. Her eyes directed towards me as she finally decides to stop. We're now back in the cafeteria. Things seem to have died down. What was with all this running around? Was the gym closed today or something?
Shut up! I just don't want to be seen talking to you. The next best thing is to have you chase me around like all the other creeps I have to deal with.
Her attitude might be sharp, but I can't help but feel like a little bad for her. Nonetheless, this doesn't change the fact that she's still going to be seen with me. Derp King Cobra. He got chomped. You want to talk, right? He might not have died though.
Yeah, but I don't want people to know about it. They'd think there's something up between us.
Talk about paranoid. Why didn't you just call me or something beforehand and tell me where to meet me? I'd save the adventure of walking around the school.
I'd need your number for that, stupid. Of course you'd want it. Everyone does.
In spite of sounding like a narcissist, her statement is believable. Most guys and good minority of girls would be after it. That's left with track captain, the popular girl, Naomi Sato.
Fine, have it. You'll need it anyway. Give me your phone. I'm not going to do anything with it.
Trusting her words, my phone goes from my hands to hers and she taps away on its screen. I can't say why I need her number, but at least I can brag about it in class. Scratch that. I'd be killed if people found out about it. By both her fans and at her own mercy too. Tossing my phone back to me without a care, I barely managed to catch it as Naomi stands before me with a compliant grin. Thanks for that.
You're welcome. It's better than what you'd get at the science club.
I didn't skip it just to have you torment me. You gonna tell me about your business with Kyoko or what?
I didn't skip my responsibilities as track captain to listen to your whining either. I'll tell you. We just need to find a better place to talk, that's all.
And how do you suppose we do that?
Fancy another walk? I've got a lot to say and I want to think it through before I tell you. There's nothing wrong with having a little fun while we're at it.
Turning on her heel, Naomi's pirouettes around, running her way again on a path back outside the school. Before taking my first steps to join her, I'm audience to her auburn hair swaying in the air as it catches a warm sun ray from the window. If playing along with her is what I have to do for her to speak up, I have no other choice but to follow her. Playing up people would kill to be in my shoes, but putting up with it isn't what it's dreamt up to be. Now that I'm here, her popularity is trivial. Maybe I can have fun. If I put my mind to it. We're on a bus.
Don't get so close to me!
Bruh. Finding ourselves on a believably crowded train to the city. The two of us rock around the carriage as we stand in the center together. Discovering such a busy train isn't too surprising. We did board during rush hour. I can't help it. You're the one who wanted to take a train to the city. All I wanted to do was talk about Kyoko.
We'll get to that. Just keep your mouth shut. I don't want to be associated with you.
We're wearing the same uniform. You're talking to me and you keep looking at me. What do you expect people to think? Talk to me and keep looking at me.
I wasn't looking at you.
But you were looking at me. Stop being such a tsundere. Tsundere added to the encyclopedia. Her words and actions, as usual, are rather spiteful. The only reason I had to agree to join her was due to her bellowing. But it seems like she'd prefer to save that for a later date and drag me around town instead. Since leaving the school grounds, Naomi's had plenty of opportune moments to release her pent-up aggression. Never in my life have I ever felt sympathy towards an out-of-order ticket machine. I believe it was along the lines of stupid piece of shit.
To be one, I'd have to like you. Frankly, I don't. Stop being such a dweeb.
I'm going to date with Naomi. Ow. Anyway, why do you need to take me this far out to talk about Kyoko? For what it's worth, a trip to the professional capital isn't really needed to discuss what's at hand. Unless she's planning on showing me where she's buried the kind side of her personality, this could have easily been done back at school.
Maybe I just want a lackey to carry around my shopping. That, or because things like this aren't that easy to discuss. You'll know about it soon enough. Just let me think. Please.
In a striking change of personality, things go quiet as the two of us tune our ears to the brisk sounds of urban life. Other passengers chat away on the train, until Naomi decides to go back to her usual selfish self.
You should consider yourself lucky to be able to spend time with me like this. A lot of guys would kill to be in your position.
But I'm not wearing any boots. No, wait, she didn't say that. She's right though, but if they'd gotten to know her like I have, then I'd hope they could reconsider their position. In spite of that, sadomasochism is pretty hip to these days. If you're that popular, people are bound to notice us.
What?
Don't tell me she hasn't realized that. People might think we're in a relationship. For once, it's my turn to get a jab in at her.
Ew! You know what? You could just go. Get off at the next stop.
What happened to I don't want you to back out on this?
Right. Kyoko.
A sudden look returns to her face as she stares outwards towards the fast approaching cityscape. If there's one thing that's obvious, it's that the two share some sort of connection, a past, together. Sudden expressions like her staring back towards me through the reflection of the glass can only come from that sort of history. I'll hear it from her own mouth eventually.
Anyway, if you're worried about what people think of us, keep your distance.
Have you ever had... Oh, sorry. Have you even had a boyfriend?
So what if I haven't? I bet you haven't had a girlfriend either.
For me to be hurt by her own flustered words, that's like caution on her part. Anyway, we've arrived.
Good. The sooner I get away from you, the better.
So much for talking about Kyoko then. What are we doing at a cafe?
Stop complaining.
Having been dragged aimlessly around the city by Naomi, we come to reside in a modern cafe with drinks on the table before us. Without any amount of doubt, if anyone saw us now, they'd think we're a couple. Telling her would likely piss her off. So I'll just keep my thoughts to myself. Despite this, the aroma of sweet goods and coffee lingers through the air in the lavish brashier. Oh my god. Pleasant backdrop set against the interesting situation I found myself in.
So, I guess I should probably tell you now, right?
Probably is an understatement. After all the gallivanting done to get here, all that being said, things are sweeter if you're willing to wait. Henceforth, after this moment, I'd have truly ingrained myself between the lives of these two girls. Joining the science club was far enough. Now hearing what Naomi has to say is bound to make me part of this. She wouldn't want to tell me otherwise. She wouldn't need to.
Things weren't always like this between us.
You mean you weren't always bullying her?
I'm not bullying her. Please, just take this seriously and listen.
No woman is an island. It's time to face her feelings. The watery eyes which peered towards me complement the sullen expression cast upon her face. However ill-timed it may be, it's hard not to appreciate her beauty being this close to her. Just one of the reasons why she's such a star.
I just can't bear to face her normally. I want to be myself again.
Lifting her sunken eyes once again up to face me, feelings of sympathy shoot through my now fast-paced heart. I feel sorry for her, all without knowing the trouble behind it. Listening to my prior suspicious? Maybe it's safe to say the two girls had shared a past after all. One which hasn't ended so amicably. What exactly happened between you two?
You know, I'm the captain of the athletics team, right? It's not just track.
Athletics? Track. What's the difference? Shooting with a disgruntled glare before returning her eyes downwards. It looks like that's a topic for another time. Naomi's name spreads far and wide around the school. Even if I wasn't too familiar with her from the get-go, I'm sure I knew who she was. Everyone knows the athletics captain.
We lost a member not too long ago. An important one. To me.
Hmm? I'm sorry to hear that.
They're not dead, idiots. But maybe I am to her.
Wait, what do you mean? An insult veiled with dejection. Doesn't really do much other to illustrate her pains. By the sounds of it, various dramas have unfolded in the athletics team. All I want to know is what it has to do with her and Kyoko's relationship. What does this have to do with?
Kyoko. It was her. Surely you can't be that tense.
Kyoko? She was on the athletics team? She has a figure for it, even if I wasn't supposed to know. I can't really dispute the emotions clouding the situation. Naomi sat across. She's truly recalling something that she's kept it to herself all this time. Her voice, her expression, her breathing, all of it tells a true sense of grief. But coming to terms with what their bond once was is going to be hard for me, an outsider. Did she leave to pursue science? It's the only thing I can come up with, but if so, it places more blame on Kyoko than anything. She doesn't seem like the type of person to put herself before her clubmates.
No. She's always loved science. Even then. She was kicked out.
Kicked out? What? I thought you were the captain.
That doesn't mean I control the club. It's the school's team. It's managed by the sports board.
What does she do? This is the first time I heard of the sports board. But coming from Naomi, I can doubt it. She knows a lot more about this than me. All I can really do is listen. Her teary eyes, glistening in the light, return to their sunken state. This can't be easy for her. So, why was she kicked out? Naomi, visibly gulping to restrain her emotions, speaks out softly, sharply contrasting the brash girl I've come to know her as. Watching her faint movements under artificial lights, it's her graceful fragility which is painted before me. This is Naomi.
We cheated. We helped her win.
What?
There was a race at another school. So we messed up their kids.
What?
We just wanted to help her win. We really did.
I'm guessing she was a loser.
Found out. We told them it wasn't her fault. They didn't believe us. She was banned from competition and kicked from our club after that.
It's a lot to take in within this small moment. We, being you and the other girls? Their response is a stifled nod from across the table. Naomi taking a moment of silence to breathe herself another mild sense of composure. There's only so much you can have in this situation. I can't say I don't feel pissed off for her actions. That was a pretty reckless thing to do, wasn't it? You're supposed to be her friend. Being irate at her is likely the least helpful thing in the situation. But inside me, the resentment I have can't be held back.
You think I don't know that? I was her friend. Her best friend. Now, it's nothing. You think I don't hate myself enough? I tried to apologize, but an apology isn't enough for something like that.
Soaked by tears, her reddened and sorrowed cheeks shine feebly as she wipes her eyes dry with each hand. My own feelings of empathy can only just reside over my inner irritations. She's suffered enough. It's clear to her what she's done. Being close to Kyoko, Ami's words do sting a sense of resentment, but the reality is that Kyoko has been just as affected. Her own emotions weren't ones of anger, but a mutual heaviness of heart. Shared sadness in their broken bonds. So, why is it that you've been so mean to Kyoko? Why do you want me away from her?
I wasn't mean to her. It was upsetting. Seeing her make a new friend. Seeing you.
Piercing her damp eyes in my direction, a desolate look beams from her tears. She's jealous?
Kyoko wouldn't talk to me after the race. She wouldn't listen to my apologies, my pleas. But she became friends with you.
Rather than feel anger with her for treating Kyoko and I this way, all I can do is cast pity. Having lost a friend to be replaced by another, it surely must have hurt. I doubt I'd ever be the same term with Kyoko as Naomi seems to make out. But it doesn't change the fact that she still wants to be with Kyoko. For them to be friends again.
I want you to help me.
What? Contrasting her prior resentment, Naomi speaks out passionately through her dejected state, treating me as an equal. Reaching out to me like this. I can't say she really hates me for being friends with Kyoko. Now she wants me to help her. Help you what? You just said you were jealous of me.
I never said that. I just said that I was upset. I want you to change her opinion of me, so she'll talk again.
How am I supposed to do that? I wouldn't know. Neither do I know Naomi's true objective here. Then again, I'm really the one person she can rely on. Kyoko doesn't speak to anyone else. I mean, I could try. But it wouldn't be as easy as, hey, how about that Naomi girl? She's not going to be that little talkative. Distinct from her usual attitude, talking to Kyoko about Naomi is the one thing taking her away from her normal self. That bright, happy smile smitten by her own inner sufferings. Whether she's willing to become friends with Naomi again is a difficult question to answer. It's evident that she too feels pain over their situation, but uncovering her thoughts would prove to be quite a task. Naomi too, despite revealing all before me, would be likely to have the keys to Kyoko's past. I'm just the one at the gates.
I know. I just don't know what else to do. I'm sorry.
An apology. Coming from her, it sounds like heaven. But at the same time, the pain which in her hell rips through her every syllable. Here, I want to help her. Despite how she's treated me, despite how her outward persona, Naomi's sensitivity not only shears her very heart, but mine too. After all, she was Kyoko's friend. I'll find a way. Even if it means taking Kyoko away from Science Club, I'll do it. Returning her gaze to me, my reflection stares back at her, crystal blue eyes. I really do look like an idiot. Still, getting Kyoko to talk up will give me an idea of her feelings towards Naomi. It'll still be helpful. I can't say that it's not worth doing.
You will? Thank you.
A smile. A warm one, too. See how Naomi's face really reflects her true self. Her inner beauty. She might have a little bite to her, but at the end of the day, I can't bring myself to hate her.
Anyway, finish up your coffee. If we stay here too long, people will see us.
You're still worried about that?
Of course I am. Just look at you.
Look at me. Looking back at my own reflection in the window, all I can do is smile that she's back to her normal self. At least what I know her as. The insult might hurt. But at the end of the day, she wouldn't have asked for help. She hated me. She wouldn't have paid for my coffee either. Damn, that was rough. I ain't gonna lie, that was actually kind of deep. Oh boy. Damn. It's 8:28 on a Friday night. Life breathes through the corridor our days begin, marking the every moving world into the depths of my mind. Every day the same thing happens. Arriving at class, watching everyone around me live their lives as I sit patiently waiting for the day to begin. Recently, though, changes to my routine have shaped my own thoughts and opinions on unhalted space around me. It's not a task to reshape the lives of two girls, to bring them together again. Maybe now the school life I've been waiting for all this time is about to be put into effect. She's not wearing her glasses. Tapping on my shoulder, Kyoko calls out to me from behind, just a step in front as I turn my head. She sure has no qualms about personal space, but calling her out on it would be besides the point. If it's her, who am I to complain? Good morning, Kyoko.
Good morning. You're coming to the science club today, right? You better not skip again.
After missing out yesterday, it's no doubt I'm coming today. That, and I promised Naomi that I'd do my best to talk to her. Neither of them deserve to face the anguish of their severed bonds. They shouldn't have to look back at old memories. Why wouldn't I go?
Because you didn't come yesterday. But I'm happy.
Those feelings resonate through her very expression. Lips curled up into a signature smile, glossy as they might meet the sunlight. We should head into class. Knowing that she has these feelings, it brews happiness in my soul too. To build this friendship with her, maybe it'll be easier to talk about Naomi. Yet again, class ends at the sound of a lunch bell, with people around withdrawing themselves from their seats to head off to get some grub. It's a tenacious routine, but something I can't help but join. I'm hungry too. The cafeteria, as usual, is brimming with alleged social customs, building the foundation of modern school life. Eating, chatting, the sorts. Me, someone who eats alone, doesn't fit with the painting laid out ahead, the canvas of the Japanese youth. Time like these make me wonder exactly what does Kyoko get up to at lunch. Spending time with her would probably be pretty enjoyable. I've never seen her eat lunch here. Perhaps in the end, asking her would be a good idea. Particularly if I'm to help out Naomi. Heading to the vending machine, sunlight strikes my eyes from the panes across the room. Leaves bustling through the now blooming trees. Spring has come fast. My hand, lifted up towards the buttons of the machine, is quickly stopped by another slender, smooth hand, small note tucked inside its grip.
Take this and be quiet.
Sure. Sitting up on my side, note slips the thin piece of paper into my own grip, all the while avoiding to match her soft skin with mine. From giving her my phone number, I sure know she takes good care of herself.
I said be quiet.
Huffing, Naomi returns and walks away in spite of my existence. She really doesn't like being seen with me. Mashing the button from a soda, I lift the note placed in my hand with the utmost care, despite it being from Naomi, a very careless girl. How's progress going? Text me later. Assuming she means that with Kyoko and not my own endeavors to keep track of my journey through life, she sure is impatient. We only discussed this yesterday. Nevertheless, the scrawling before me is soulful enough to show her feelings. Just how much Kyoko means to her. If it wasn't for yesterday, I'd still see her as a bit of a bitch. Now, though, I want to make her happy too. Drawing to an end, pent-up detachment from the content of the class brings itself to fruition throughout the room. It wouldn't be a stretch to say I'm a part of this mass of log ore. Moreover, one of the ones who most wants to leave. Despite tasks by Naomi to track down Kyoko's past, Kyoko's feelings, joining the science club itself is just something I've come to do. There doesn't need to be a reason for me to go.
Okay, class, make sure to finish writing up your notes. You all have a test next week. It'll be on economics too. So make sure to read up on Mr. Kabir's work.
Lethargically cleaning his desk, the teacher's own impatience to leave the class spreads like wildfire through the students across the room. It really is time to leave. Luckily for me, my day has only just started. Time to head to the club. Within the corridor resides a small little girl with a mischievous grin plastered on her face. I don't know what she's doing here. No, wait, that's Kyoko.
Hey,
What's the matter?
you're thinking weird stuff, aren't you?
Hanging around her. I'm used to this feeling of being lost in thought. For admiring the energy with her heart, but to only mend that very beautiful soul. The situation now only seems to ratifies it. Nah, I'm just thinking about how much I want to go to the club.
Well, you didn't come yesterday, so you should be.
She's still upset about that.
Anyway, let's go.
Speeding to the end of our conversation, Kyoko twirls around and faces the direction of the science lab. Flipping her now down, flowing hair through the air. I'm not sure when she undid her ponytail, or why. Joining her on the brisk walk to the club room, I can't help but feel the action is routine. Despite only becoming a member this week, and albeit skipping the club too, I can only feel that we're getting used to each other. Inside the lab, but dusty as ever, warmth embrace as we bask in the afternoon light. Kyoko's cheeks rose as she stands eyes towards the window with a smile.
Isn't science beautiful?
That's a tree.
Biology is a science too.
The only memories I have of biology is giggling at pictures of genitalias or our middle school textbooks. Say what you will, but we've all done it. Still, Kyoko pouts before me with her cheeks puffed up. Probably due to my lack of knowledge. It's ridiculously cute. Trying to sort out yet another experiment, Kyoko gets all and whilst I continue to watch nature flow past the window, beyond me. It's a hard concept to grasp, but the world itself truly flows without care. A river of response. Like life. All it comes down to is embracing the beauty laid out. Manifest before our eyes. Rather than focus on a task set out upon me, I'd rather appreciate what I have here. Being able to spend time at the science club with Kyoko?
There's something I need to ask you.
Times like these, they're only momentary. What is it? Her voice unsteady, only paints a picture of what's about to come. Inside. I know she's thinking about the same thing. The same person.
You were with her yesterday, weren't you?
Oh shit.
Naomi.
Oh no. That's an untypical sadness. The happy and carefree face I'm so used to seeing looks towards me. Tears welling up in her eyes. There's no point denying now, but knowing she's this upset over my decision, I should have expected it. How'd you know?
The lab looks over the school entrance. You two were there yesterday. Together.
Even for that brief time we wandered around the school, Kyoko had still saw us. So much for just I don't want to be seen talking to you.
Has she been bothering you two?
Rather than chastise me for my actions, knowing how much Naomi's actions had hurt her, instead she brushes them aside. Kyoko, opting to continue under the presumption of Naomi's own actions against her.
I didn't want to be involved. She was a friend to me. But things have changed. I don't really want to get into it.
As if confirming Naomi's words, Kyoko's eyes swell with woe as her tears hang on the tipping point. Tears still engross her body's movements as she looks onwards towards me. Teeth biting her nails as her lips tremble against her face. Nothing more than her frown. I don't want to see her like this. Kyoko. Their past, all evident in their own words, is becoming clearer to me day by day. Both girls affected heavily by events which transpired between them. Seeing Kyoko so distraught, it makes it easier to understand Naomi's pain. Their pain. Wiping her eyes dry, clearing her sadness, Kyoko pulls a smile as she brings her hands to her chest to feign a recovery.
Don't worry. It's nothing.
Could be that she's caught onto my own subdued aura, but she's trying her best to avoid talking about it. No matter what, they haven't gotten over what's happened. I don't think Kyoko will be telling me anytime soon, despite Naomi's pleas. Still seeing them both embraced by sorrow, it's hard not to want to help them. I want to make things right again. The story of both girls, in reality, hurt by their own friendship. Naomi and others didn't want Kyoko to lose her race. They weren't doing it in spite of her. No matter all the faults with their plan, there's nothing to cast doubt upon theirs and Naomi's feelings towards her. They cherished her. Maybe now it's clear exactly what I want to do in this school. Rather than help myself, I want to restore their bonds. This is my ambition. This is what'll make me happy.
Anyway, we should get to work on science.
Pushing the topic aside, Kyoko stands with her fist clenched tight with a nod of so believable, but still cute smile. For now, ignoring the topic is ideally the best thing to do in this situation. I don't want to see her hurt any longer. However, ignoring my responsibilities isn't the solution to this problem. At some point, we're going to have to face it. Together, as a trio. Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. When it comes down to it, I'm just as much of a member of the science club as she is. More so, I'm her friend. Screened by the evening sunlight, the aura in the room has changed since the subdued as the two of us finished cleaning Kyoko's experiment. Opting to do a titration, Kyoko ends up leaving the issue with Naomi behind her and quickly returns to her usual self. The Kyoko I know her as. Though there's a lot more about her I want to uncover.
That was fun.
It was, but I didn't really do much. And like her past with Naomi, maybe just being here is really good enough for me. Learning more about them, getting to know them. I think it's something I want to do. The week itself has been long. Coming to know this girl so well over the course of only 5 days. Still, there's a lot more behind the covers that need to be addressed before we can move forward. The two of them, trapped by their own memories of one another. My place in this, despite being unclear, will soon be revealed as the two of them begin to open their hearts. As soon as I can heal their bonds.
It's okay. Really.
But I want to at least contribute. Come on. With her signature smile, a cute and poised curling of lips, Kyoko looks at me from ahead. There's one thing I can say, is that I truly am glad I've gotten to know her.
For me, just you being here is enough.
Didn't want you to be involved. Oh. She didn't want me to be involved, y'all. That's a good end. We're in Act 2. Chasing Futures. I think that's going to be enough for tonight. I think that's going to be in here. Chasing Futures was called. Chasing Futures. Okay. Thank you so much for watching the video. I appreciate it so much. Hopefully you like it. And yeah, see you guys next time. I'm really interested in seeing what's going on. Like, what in particular, like that race, what did they do to make her win? Or they did tell us, but I don't know. I don't get it. But yeah, it feels like there's something missing. Thanks again, guys. Bye. I'm out of here.